Okay, it is Sunday, May 18th. I've decided to do this video so that I don't forget where I've just planted everything. So I'm going to start back here. So in the center here, I have the sunflowers that were already there, and I did add a couple more seeds, so there will be a row of sunflowers in the center. The tomatoes that are planted in rows here is the Roma tomatoes, so that is 2 rows of 8 plants. And then I've got here the basil, which I have a row of basil right here. And I got some marigold seeds and I put them in between the tomatoes, and that's on both sides. So then the next one I'm going to go over to is right here. And I've got the hot red cherry peppers. And I've got 2 rows here for 8 plants. I have added sunflowers, a couple sunflowers over there, and I can't remember now. I think I added the purple sunflowers, but this is why I'm doing this video, because I can't remember which sunflower I did. I think I had the purple ones in here. Then on this side and on that side, I did 3 rows of these onions here. And then in between the two, which I put a little marker, a little tab thing here and here, so that I knew where they ended, because in between those is, where did my paper go? I've already lost it. I have bok choy. Oh, I found the seeds. They fell over here. All right, my bok choy. So I've got 2 bok choy there. Also in this bed are mystery tomatoes that got pulled out yesterday when I was adding dirt into these beds. So these tomatoes here all came from the bed over there, and that was a couple different kinds of slicing tomatoes last year, so I have no idea what I'm going to get. That should be interesting. I did add a couple sprinkles of marigolds on the end there, and on this side I planted nasturtium and marigolds. So I'm really heavy on the nasturtium this year because I had less beetle issues on my squash last year than other people. And I think it's because I had quite a few of these around the garden. So I am hopeful that this helps. And the marigolds that I planted are these mixes here. Okay, so that's that bed. And then over here, let me put these down. I've got on the end 2 early sensation yellow peppers. Then I have a row of eggplants, and I think they're just plain old eggplants, nothing special about them. Behind that, I've got 2 jalapeno peppers that somebody gave me yesterday. And then 2 tomatoes here, the Better Bush tomatoes, which say they're a determinate variety, so I'll be curious if that's the case. And then in this space here is, I think I had 3 rows of bok choy this way. And then the leeks from in the house that I think I had on the last video, they are in a row here. All right, so behind me, I decided to go with a teepee trellis for the cucumbers after much deliberation. And the cucumbers I decided to plant on the inside of this square so that they will be more likely to climb up. So like hopefully this one will go up this side and that will go up that corner and not interfere with each other too much. The chamomile that were by the front gate have been moved now. I've got 3 chamomile that had grown on the pathways that I have moved over to, I think you could see that, to around here. So the chamomile is supposed to help with flavor of cucumbers. I don't know how true that is, but when I had cucumbers with it and cucumbers without it, the cucumbers without it died immediately, and the cucumbers with it did really well. So ever since, I've just made sure to have chamomile near cucumbers because I just have a better track record of cucumbers doing well when there's chamomile. I don't know if that's just me or if that's just how it is. So here, the zucchini squash, heirloom black beauty. Oh, I forgot to show you what kind of, these cucumbers are burpless. So these are burpless cucumbers, and that was 2 different pots. This zucchini was in one pot and I split it in half. It says you're supposed to space it 48 inches apart, but I didn't really have that much space without it hanging over the edges. So I just kind of put it towards the middle and gave it some space. I put nasturtium in a row here and in a row there, as well as each corner in there. So told you, heavy on the nasturtium. Hopefully will help with not getting the beetles that will kill specifically the zucchini squash beetles. So that's what that's there for. All right, did I go over everything on this one? Oh, so over here, the peas are still doing fabulous. They're huge. I did move the mystery squash out of here that were from the kids' garden. They have now relocated to over here. So my theory, I'm probably completely wrong on this, but based on talking to people, was once the peas die, you need to replace this with something else. So I was like, I think by the time the peas die, the squash will actually start growing. So I've decided to try sticking some squash in this part over here, which has less peas anyway, and see how it does. So I put it in the middle so it has more time to like work its way in there before it starts climbing. And I put some acorn squash on this side. So they're kind of wilty because it's hot today, and I'm going to water them in a little bit once the sun goes down a little bit more because it's a little hot still. But these ones on this side are the confirmed acorn squash that I planted, and then those are the mystery squash over there. So we'll see. This could be a great idea. This could be a complete failure, but I don't have any peas at all on this side and sparse peas in those spots. So we'll see how that goes. Let me come over here now. Okay, so this bed here, I haven't added dirt to yet because I was only able to get those first 4 done yesterday because it was 84, very humid, very hot, and I just pittered out around 4 to 5 o'clock and I just couldn't do anymore. Over here, I have definitely sunflowers. I'm debating on trying to move them to be in the center, how I've planted all the other ones where I put them in the centers. So I'm hopeful that I can move it, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to try. But I can see already that they're going to be huge and problematic right on the edges, so I'm debating. My plan so far for this bed is to put the mystery, not so mystery tomatoes over here. So I know for a fact that where these were growing was these last year, the black cherry hybrid cherry tomatoes. So this is what I did grow there. And these were coming up in the beds as well as over here. So I'm pretty sure it's that. I don't know how true it will stay to the parent plant that I had bought, but I figure it's worth a shot. So I do want to try them over here so that they're not as obnoxious as like over here, because over here was like over the fence and like in the pathway and like that way, and it was everywhere. So I'm gonna try and move these little volunteers here to the bigger bed, and then I'll also add more dirt. If you can see how much the dirt has gone down in this one, I want to add some more dirt. The chamomile I was talking about, that's over there, I got from right here. So now I have a big gap there I've got to add. This is my green onions that were for dinner that I had cut pieces off. You can see they're cut, and I like to put them in the dirt after I've cut what I need from them, and I get the green onions all summer, which is awesome. Since I heard that voles don't like anything in the onion garlic family, I decided to try and put this little red lettuce that somebody gave me with the jalapenos yesterday. And that's kind of a test because I don't know if that's going to be immediately eaten by something or not. But I am trying more oniony stuff in the garden this year. So when I was talking about over here, I've got the leeks, which if you smell them, they smell oniony. So that's why they're in there. And over here, when I put the bok choy in the center here, I put onions on either side, and I'm hoping the onions on either side will help keep things out of this bed. And I'm probably going to add some like onion stuff like over there, but I haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I'm going to try oniony stuff to see if it will prevent the voles from coming in. So maybe I should stick some like green onions or something around the edge of this thing. I might go buy some more green onions from the store, honestly, because I haven't had much luck growing them from seed, but I obviously do pretty well with them this way. So I might just do that again. And I think that's everything for today. And unfortunately, we did kind of squash some of the violas because they were on the pathway and the cart had to go that way and smush them. So that's a sad thing, but there's plenty more. So we squished a few, but the bulk of them are doing well. So yay. All right. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with these videos. Please like my videos so that I know that you're seeing them. And have a great day.